You think you know what makes a car iconic? Let me hit you with something. The car that put the world on wheels wasn't a Ferrari or a Lamborghini, it was the Ford Model T. Yeah, we're going all the way back. Some cars didn't just change the way we drive, they changed everything. We're ranking the most iconic cars of all time, and trust me, this list is gonna have you questioning everything you thought you knew about car legends. Alright, picture this. It's 1908, and Henry Ford just dropped the Model T. Before this car, owning a car was like owning a spaceship. But Ford flipped the game. The Model T was the first car to be mass-produced on an assembly line, making it affordable for the average person. This car didn't just put America on wheels, it basically invented the road trip. You could get one for $850 back then, which today would be like paying for a really nice bike. It's not glamorous, but without the Model T, we wouldn't have half the cars on this list. Next up, Volkswagen Beetle. Now this car's story is wild. It was originally designed in Nazi Germany, but when World War II ended, the Beetle became something totally different. By the 60s, it had transformed into a global peace symbol, embraced by counterculture movements everywhere. And fun fact, it's the longest running and most manufactured car of a single design. Over 21 million were made. The Beetle wasn't just a car, it was a lifestyle, from surfers to college kids to, yeah, even hippies. It's been in movies, TV shows, and everyone knows that little car with its quirky bug-like design. But hold up, let's talk about something with more muscle. The Ford Mustang. You already know this one. Released in 1964, the Mustang is the definition of American power. This car wasn't just fast, it was cool, affordable, stylish, and powerful. Everything a car should be. It was so popular that Ford sold over 1 million in just a couple of years. It kicked off the whole pony car category and gave birth to a whole new class of performance cars. Let's be real, even if you've never driven one, you know that Mustang roar. Now, if we're talking rare and expensive, let's get into the Ferrari 250 GTO. Only 36 were made between 1962 and 1964, and it's one of the most valuable cars ever. One sold at auction for $70 million. Why so pricey? It's a mix of exclusivity and performance. The 250 GTO dominated the racing scene in the 60s, and its sleek, curvy design became the blueprint for Ferrari's later cars. This isn't just a car, it's a work of art. Alright, time for something unexpected, the Toyota Corolla. Don't roll your eyes yet, this car may not be flashy, but it's everywhere. With over 50 million sold worldwide since its launch in 1966, it's the best-selling car in history. The Corolla didn't win any races, but it's been a symbol of reliability for decades. It's that dependable friend that never lets you down. Not every icon has to be glamorous. Sometimes they're just steady. Now, speaking of style that's lasted, you can't forget the Porsche 911. Launched in 1964, the 911 is a sports car. Porsche knew what they were doing with this one. The design has barely changed in over 50 years because, well, why mess with perfection? It's got that signature rear engine layout, and it's as fast as it looks. Whether you're at a racetrack or driving it down a winding road, the 911 is a thrill. You don't just own a Porsche, you experience it. And then there's the McLaren F1. This car was ahead of its time. Released in 1992, the F1 was the fastest production car in the world for over a decade. It could hit over 240 miles per hour, and to top it off, the engine bay was lined with gold for heat protection, no joke. Only 106 were made, and today, they go for over $20 million. It wasn't just about speed, it was about innovation. The driver sat in the center like a Formula One racer, and it was all about giving you the ultimate driving experience. Let's shift gears a little and talk about the Mini Cooper. Don't let its size fool you. This car's a giant in automotive history. Launched in 1959, the Mini became a symbol of British cool. It was tiny, but it could whip around corners like nothing else. The Mini Cooper even dominated rally racing, which made it a performance legend despite its size. It's been in movies, music videos, and most famously, the original Italian Job. This car is all about attitude packed into a small frame. Now here's the moment you've been waiting for. The most iconic car ever? It's the Volkswagen Beetle. There's no denying it. The Beetle's got the numbers, the style, the history. It's been a symbol of everything from Nazi propaganda to post-war peace, and that's a story no other car can tell. It's crossed generations, evolving into a cultural phenomenon along the way. People loved it in the 60s, and they still love it today. You don't just see a Beetle, you feel it. So what do you think? Did your favorite car make the cut? Drop your picks in the comments. Let's argue it out. And if you're still with me, you're clearly part of the crew now. So hit that subscribe button. Stick around, because next up, we're diving into the wildest supercars of the 21st century. And trust me, you don't want to miss that. See you in the next one.